What is up, everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of the Eg33 build. Yes, I was washing the engine. That is very important to do before a build. Even though at a machine shop they technically do wash it and do everything like that, but for one, it's been a long time since I've had it and it's just sat there kind of collecting dust. And for two, even when they wash them, they're not always getting in there deep and going through all the galleys and cleaning up all the areas that there might be residue or foreign matter in from before, from its past. So I'm going through, cleaning everything, and then I got these engine cleaning brushes and just going through like so and just going through the oil galleys, cleaning out everywhere where there might be some type of buildup. So I'm going to do that to both halves, and then we can get ready to throw the crank in. So after you have got everything blown out good, dried out, it's important that you get some oil or something into the cylinders, just because they are steel and they will rust. You know, water and steel don't really mix with oxygen. So just get some oil on a rag and wipe down the cylinders real good. That way you don't have to worry about that. So just like that. Now we are ready for the fun part. All right, so here we are getting to the nerve-wracking part of putting everything together. But if you do all your homework and your research, everything should go smooth. So here we have the crankshaft bolts. You have 14 of them, 2 short and then 12 long. One thing to take note of, there are 10 of them that come with these type of gasket washers or sealant washers, whatever you want to call them. And those are the ones that will be going in the center here. And then your short ones go in here, and they just have a normal metal washer. And then there are 2 rear ones here that go in the back here. They are also just normal metal. So just remember to put the correct washer in the correct space. And then over here we have the bearings. So the Eg33 shares the bearings with the EJ phase 1 engines, so such as the 2.2s and the 2.5s. But you have to make sure that when you're getting bearings, for one, you have to order 2 of them because there are more bearings, of course. But you need to get the engine, the bearings with the thrust bearing in the 3rd position. Even though in the Eg33 it is in the 5th position, it is the same as if it was in the 3rd position in a normal EJ motor. So it's really the only thing to worry about with bearings. Just get your clearances that you want. I got 2 different bearings and mix match to receive the clearances that I want. I'm going for 1.5 thousandths. So I have everything laid out, ready to go. I'm gonna go look at the manual and double check everything, and then I'll be putting the bearings in, set the crank in, putting my sealant down around the edges, which I am using this 3-bond. Sounds like that is the best kind, even though I'm sure a lot of people do just fine with the ultra gray stuff, but I figured why not get the stuff that everyone says works. So put bearings in, put the O-rings in, which I have here, and they go, the orange one goes here, then you have the 3 that go along here. All right, I have the silicone on, and I believe I have it in all the right places. Just remember, when you're putting this on, you don't need a lot. The more that you put on, the more that's going to squeeze into the block. So be be generous with it. Don't just go crazy with it. Less is more when it comes to the sealant. And remember, here where it's close to the bearings, make sure that you're not getting any into the passages there, so clean them off good, and then make sure you're not getting oil or any into these passages as well. So let me walk you through this process real fast. So you set the crank down onto the 1, 3, and 5 half, put it on, put your case half bolts in, make sure to oil them, and then you're going to go through and torque them all to 11 foot-pounds, and then we'll turn it over and put the other bolts in. Okay. So once you go to the other side, put all your bolts in, torque them to 11, then you actually come over to the first side and retorque them to 11, and then you can get into your degree sequence. All right, now that we have everything torqued down to 11 foot-pounds, now it is time to get into the degrees. So with these case half bolts, you torque them to between 90 and 110 degrees. So I'm probably going to go 100 degrees, just because with 90, there's a chance that you might not quite hit 90, and with 110, there's a chance that you might over torque. So I like to go for the middle, that way you're in the ballpark either way. And then when you're torquing these, there is a torque sequence. When you're doing anything like this, or head bolts, or like head bolts, you always want to start from the inside and work your way out. So the torque sequence for this side is here, 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 and then the front two. So now we have our, I guess, smaller case half bolts. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this little tiny one goes underneath. So I'm going to get these sucked in, and then you torque them to 20 foot-pounds. So here is where that last little bolt goes, just right in there. Don't forget it, and when you're taking the engine apart, don't forget it as well, because it's really easy to get all the bolts out and start trying to take the case halves apart, and they won't come apart. Then you realize there's this little tiny bolt here. So, well, there we have it. One step closer to having a full short block. Now all we just need are the pistons, oil pump, seals, fun stuff like that. So we'll be doing pistons next.